Hello, everyone. So this video is going to be kind of on the more spiritual side of things, although, everything is connected, so it's physical as well. Um, it's about basically like God and healing, and I'm not talking about a biblical God or a Islamic God or anything like that. Um, Although the more I go through my healing, the more merit I see in a lot of the teachings. And even in my past, I've seen a lot of merit in the teachings in those religions. However, I'm not a religious person, um, but I have noticed a greater connection to something you could call God through my healing. And I just wanted to talk on it briefly. I think it's a big part of healing in many ways. And I don't think it's like necessary. However, I think it can be very helpful if not for anything else, but to be a little more calmer because calmness has really been a big deal for me in my healing journey. The more scared I am of the symptoms and dealing with them, the worse it is, and it's like a feedback loop. I stay sick, and it's really hard when you're dealing with some pretty extreme symptoms to be positive, and I still struggle with that. So I'm not here telling you, oh, just do this and you're going to be fine. um, I don't think it's quite like that. However, I have noticed the compounding um, effort on my nervous system when I'm calmer, when even dealing with hard symptoms. When I'm calmer, it's easier and they don't last as long and all those things. So I, I think there's a connection with the things we can't control. So that's why I call it God. I'm not, yes, I heavily influence all the cells in my body and the functions of my body, but I'm not in there controlling each little element. And that's very scary to think about. Oh, okay, well, all of a sudden this symptom could come on and I have no control over it, or very little. It seems like very little control. Um, Even though there's tons of things you can be doing, I noticed that when I experience those really out of control feelings, connecting prayer or intentional thought, thankfulness for my body, and communicating with it, it really helps. And even the first time I was really ill, when I had that tumor under my tongue, I thought was cancer. I would pray to Mother Nature at the time, and Mother Nature, Father Time, whatever. Like it's all connected. It's all the same to me. However, I named it Mother Nature at the time to help me go through that, and to pray and to ask for things and to barter. And um, Mother Nature held up to her end of the deal. I remember saying, please cure me, and if you do, I will focus my life on healing and health and helping people. And I didn't stick up with my part of the bargain. Mother Nature healed me, and I didn't like I did a lot, but not to the degree I was talking about when I made that deal. And so I think why I'm part of the reason why I'm sick now is Mother Nature is reminding me, hey, we had a deal. So now you're gonna have to go through a bigger thing to understand it deeper. And as hard as it is to go through this, I'm blessed in many ways to go through it. And I just like to share some things um, about it, and maybe it'll help you, maybe it'll resonate, maybe not. However, I just feel there is a deep connection with honoring and thanking the body for all the things it's doing in a daily basis. I think even if you don't believe in God or you don't believe in connection and all that, um, there's a process going on in not only in your body but all around you that is happening whether you sit there and do nothing or not. And yeah, there's a lot you can do to control it. The ego is very strong. You can do all kinds of things, and I suggest doing a lot of things so that you can influence it in a way that benefits you and the people around you. And at the same time, there is a force that isn't you, and to assume we can't communicate with it or shouldn't communicate with it or get better at communicating with it, I think is something that we would grow to regret. And I notice when it's not in my life, I feel the impact of it. Prayer, thankfulness, calmness, all these things help me heal and help me feel better, just even if it's temporary, even if there's some relief from the symptoms for a little bit. It can add up. It all adds up. So I just wanted to, I don't want to make a long video about this, but I do want to talk about it because I think it's an important part that I think would be worthwhile to explore and talk about and communicate with each other about in not such a religious way, but a more open way and a more understanding way, and just get the communication going with that, because the more we think about it and talk about it and explore the ideas with each other, the greater it expands, and we can find out easier, is this relevant or not. I find it's been very relevant in my life. The questions I ask, nature, the cosmos, whatever it is, get answered, and oftentimes in ways I didn't want them to be answered, so I've been more careful with my questions lately. However, I think it's important to ask them and see what happens with that. So yeah, this isn't a long video, but I just wanted to talk about God and healing and the connection there and how it can be a useful tool. I'd like to keep exploring all the useful tools of healing on this channel and keep talking about them and employing them. It's a big part of our life and experience, is these processes that happen without our influence, or like that are just happening with or without us intentionally doing anything. So I hope you find that interesting or something thought-provoking. And if you have any comments, please let me know. I'd like to answer anything, or anything you would just want to share or talk about. Just let me know. Thanks for watching.